Okay guys, now we move on to application related coding, and the prerequisite for this is you should know the basic VBScript programming. You should be well aware of the string functions, and also as I went through different chapters, different concepts, you should be aware of that, the QTP concepts, and we'll be covering the important programs which will be useful for you, application related programs. And after this we'll be starting with the object model, wherein scripts related to creation of the object is something that I've kept for the end. So except for that, we'll be covering most of the codes and the most of the QTP application related codes which are important and which will be useful for you in your real-time scenarios. So let's begin with the first problem. Okay, so for this we need a reference file, that is registration form.html. This will be distributed to you so that you can practice at your end as well. And you have to just open that HTML as the application. It's a sample application which shows basic registration. So what we have to do is we have to create a function to check whether a particular item is existing in the drop down list. Okay, so registration form has a drop down list wherein we have to verify whether a particular item which we are verifying whether it exists or not, and if it is available then the function will return true or else false. So let's see, just have a basic idea of the question and frame it in your mind. What is the expectation from you? So basically we have to create a function which either returns true or false based on certain condition, and the condition is that if the item is matching in the drop down list. Okay, so let's begin with it. So this is my QTP screen and this is the HTML registration form sample. Both this QTP and this application sample should be open at your end, and this is the drop down I was talking about. We have to match any of the item from this, and if it matches we have to, if that item is found in this drop down, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Okay, so first of all let's capture an object. So the object has to be from the drop down. So you can just select the drop down, and as you can see it's a web list combo name. Okay, and when I drop this object to my screen, you will see a code is generated. Okay, so basically it's a web list which has a different options in it. Okay, and dot select is the default action, but what we want is we want the item which we are searching for. Okay, so how do we get the item which we are searching for? By using get item. Okay, and as you can see the bracket, inside the bracket we have to put index, and the index starts with 0 for the first option. Okay, so currently let's say we are putting a variable I. Okay, because it can be any of the object. So what we'll be doing is we'll be capturing one object at a time. Okay, and we'll be matching it with the object which we are searching for, scissors. So we'll capture one of the option at a time, and if it is matching, then it's okay, then our problem is over, solved. We'll just throw back true to the function, from the function, and if it is false then we'll check for the next value. So we'll keep on checking till we reach the last value, and after reaching the last value, if we still don't find scissors, right now it's there, but suppose if we don't find the object, then we'll return false. Okay, so to begin with, to get the individual items, I'll use .get item. Okay, and this item has to be stored somewhere. So let's say a string name. Okay, now what we'll do is, since we are using a for loop wherein we are grabbing one item at a time from the web list, so starting with index 0, so for I equal to 0, 2. Now 2 is the count, the number of objects in my drop down list. So how will I get that? By using the same object, and from this I'll get the count of my items which are present in my web list. Okay, when I use dot, you'll see there are different options over here. Okay, so one of the option, you know that it is get arrow property. These are the runtime properties. So even if in runtime, if the number of objects that keep on changing, so it doesn't matter, because by using get arrow property. Now to search for the runtime property, I'll use my objects by. Okay, so I'll search for the property of the web list. So I click on the web list, and the property which I'm looking is the count of the items which are in the web list. So as you can see, there's a property items count. I just have to copy it. The value is 11 for the current run settings. So in double brackets I have to just put the property. So this code returns the items count. I can put it in an integer, I count. Okay, so I count is the upper limit of the loop. Okay, so now what this for loop is doing, it is fetching in sname individual item in the web list one by one till it reaches the last item. Now the next thing is we have to do is we have to match this as name for the string which we are looking for. Okay, so let's say the string is Caesars. So you know that we have to put a conditional statement over here, because when we talk about conditional statement, it means whether the answer is true or false. So why do we put conditional statement? Because we have to verify whether the Caesars is matching or not. So whether the condition is true or false. So what you can do is you can write if name equal to Caesars, then the match is found. So you have to return the value. Okay, so for now let's write message box true, and once this is done, it will just come out of the function. There'll be a function over here, right? So we have to just exit the function using exit function. Okay, because we found the match and we are done with the search, so we just have to exit the function. And the else part will be, if we have not found the function till now, we have to move to the next loop. Okay, so let's say we are displaying the message box. Okay, sorry, we won't display the message box until we have reached the last value. Okay, so we don't have to keep any else part, we'll just finish the end if condition. And now what will happen is this loop will run till the last value. If the match is found, then it will enter the if condition and the message box true is displayed, and then we come out of this function. There's a function which needs to be created, so let's create the function. Okay, so it will cover this code, and the name of the function can be fn any name. Okay, let's keep fn name for now. So if for this loop for different iterations till the last iteration, if we do not find the match, the code won't enter this. Code won't execute line 6 and 7. Therefore exit function won't be executed. And after the for loop, what we can do is we can display our else condition over here, that is message box fail, because till the last count I am not able to find the match. So this is my function and it is ready. So now what we have to do is, functions don't run on their own, right? So we have to call the function. So let's call the function, call fn name. Okay, now if you remember, the assignment was to return the value to the function. Okay, and when does the function catch the value? When there's a variable which is catching the value, then only the function can return. Okay, so let's say the return is, since it's a boolean, bln, we can name b, and we can write val. So boolean value bval equal to function name. So whatever is returned from function is caught by this variable bval. And in order to return true or false, instead of message box, I'll write the function name. As you know that function name equal to true will return the value true, because the variable, whatever value you assign to the function name, that value will be returned by the function. Okay, and also in case we don't find the match, we'll write false. Okay, so this will be caught by bval, and let's say we display it in message box.